are you?
I'm Carrie.
I'm Rebecca.
Hey, I'm Sheila.
And we are talking today about getting it wrong.
We're a little scattered today, I think.
We're
All
talking
of
about
us
making mistakes.
are
We
going-
never get things wrong.
Are we getting it wrong today? Because we have all flown in here from different directions
Yes.
to get this show taped. Oh, there we go.
Deep
Now.
cleansing breaths.
Oh my gosh, that's probably one of the number one reasons people get it wrong is they don't take a deep breath first before they make a big decision.
Oh, that's true.
So good. Thank
Yeah,
you, Rebecca.
Sometimes they just react.
Okay,
All right.
so welcome to the SOAR Show. We're talking about getting it wrong today. But first, we're going to talk about our words of the day. Y'all got a word of the day?
You
I got
know?
wrong too.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, kind of hot mess comes to mind right now. So yeah, busy. What's your word for the day?
My word, actually, I have one. My word for the day is chrysanthemum. Now, chrysanthemum.
That's a great word.
Well, chrysanthemum was my first piece of body art. Tattoo. Rebecca calls it body art.
No, it's art.
I like to say tattoo. I got
I
tattoo.
agree. Body art.
Yeah, body art. So anyway, chrysanthemum. Do y'all know that that's the flower of November? I didn't
No.
know that till I looked it up.
We do
Oh,
now.
that's great.
So chrysanthemum's on my arm because it was a thing with my mother. She told me that was my name, taught me how to spell it and everything. It was a family kind of inside joke forever. She passed away. I actually looked up the word, and it's a flower of bright colored flowers of many varieties. And I thought that fits me
Love
because
that.
I am all over the place
That's you.
all the
Love
time.
that.
So I got it tattooed on my arm, but I looked it up today and it's the flower of November.
Uh-huh.
But to take it a step further, we're talking about getting it wrong
Mm-hmm.
and regrouping. This is what it also says about the chrysanthemum, real quick. A chrysanthemum has stems that die back at the end of a growing season. New growth emerges from the rootstock every spring, creating a larger plant every year until it reaches maximum size.
Ooh, there's a lot of feeling and
great?
word in that. That's
I love
awesome.
that because
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always regrouping, regrowing, but getting bigger every time and better, right?
Mhm.
That's what we want to do in life. And I think when we make a mistake, and we'll talk about that more,
Right.
that's what we have to do.
You got a word?
Sorry, that was a big word.
That was a big word. My word is gratitude right now. And I think too often, I don't know why this hit me, but maybe it's because it is November and it is Thanksgiving time and it's time to reflect on what you have and be grateful. But to me, gratitude really has hit home with me this week, and it's to be grateful wherever you are. Grateful with whatever you have, because you know the American way is to be constantly striving and seeking for more and more and more.
Mhm.
And I think when we do that, we miss out on the beauty and the pleasure of everything we already have right now.
You are so
And
right.
so I just want to be very grateful.
You're in.
I'm still sticking with my word busy. I've got nothing else. Because I almost feel like, this is gonna make sense, I feel like I'm so busy, I'm busy trying to be grateful, and busy trying to be thankful, and busy in life, but also busy trying to do those things.
Yeah, and I think what happens is, you are so right, everybody lives like that. They're busy trying to be grateful and forgetting to stop and be grateful. You and I talked a little bit about this back at the office a while ago when we were talking about just business that I had going on right now. Is just being really grateful for it at the moment, and not that neither one of us are grateful, but not being
You have
not
to,
being too busy and exhausted, but enjoying the blessings of it all.
and you have to be intentional about that. And we've all been in those phases of our lives. I know we've talked about seasons a lot, but we've all been in those seasons of our lives where it just feels like we're running and gunning and meeting ourselves at both ends of the candle, night and day. And so I completely relate to where you are.
Alright, so now I'm changing my word from busy to intentional.
Yeah, okay. You're gonna be
In the middle of the
intentionally
show,
busy.
or for the
That just
future?
happened. Okay, yeah.
She's gonna be intentionally busy.
I'm intentionally busy. All right, I'll go with that. All right, intentionally busy. Anyway,
Wait, did you just change your word?
She
for the
did.
Okay, all right. So
She did.
intentionally busy. You know what? Yes, and I love that you said that. You know, Jessica Blackwell. Shout out to another great real estate agent in town. So many times she will say she is going to intentionally do this week. I'm going to intentionally pray. I'm going to intentionally show up for work, and I love that word.
Mhm.
Intentionally, that changes it completely.
It's,
I didn't just do it because I had to. I intentionally did it. But that's our words.
I'm intentionally busy. I like that.
Yeah,
I like it.
intentionally.
I'm going with it.
This didn't just fall in my lap. I intended to be this busy this week.
Oh, but where does that come in with mistakes?
Okay, so now we're gonna talk about our topic today, which is getting it wrong. Getting it wrong.
See, that makes me sweat.
We all yeah, but we get it wrong. But so when I left the office, I was real quickly, Doug Austin, broker at the Murfreesboro office for Benchmark Realty, said, "What's your show gonna be about today, Carrie?" And I said, "It's gonna be about getting it wrong." And he said, "You know, my favorite thing about getting it wrong is the education that comes with it."
That's right.
And I think that's fabulous.
There's always education there, if you're willing to pay attention to it. If you don't, you'll make that same mistake twice,
Yeah, yeah.
and we don't wanna do that.
No, we don't wanna do that. But I think it's real important that you stop for a minute and go, why did I make it? Did I make the mistake because I thought too quickly? I didn't think it through? Was my end game the wrong goal, the wrong objective for what I was doing? Like, why did I do it? If you don't at least stop to dissect that, you will make it again.
Yeah,
But my
that's true.
problem is I dissect too much and I analyze too much. Why? If I hadn't have made that decision, I would have been better off here. I analyze it way too much.
Yeah.
You spend too much time analyzing it, is that what you're saying?
Well, guess what my analogy for that is?
Okay.
If you make a wrong turn on the highway and you stay on that wrong turn way too long before you turn around and go back to where you made the mistake, then you're way off course. So if you overthink your mistake,
Uh-huh.
You see why I love being in between these two fabulous women. I love it because it just makes so much sense.
Yeah.
You're just so, yeah.
the
I
quicker
love
you
that.
go, oh, I should have made a right, not a left,
Yeah,
then
we've
you're
all
back on
done
track.
that. We've all done that on the interstate, and you missed your exit,
Yeah.
and it takes you 12 more miles to get to the next exit.
That's
Yes,
when
and
you
you're
find that
ever
cut through.
further from your original destination. That's a great point, Carrie.
Yeah,
Once you realize you've made a mistake, remedy it as soon as possible.
right.
And apologize if you need to apologize. If you've made a mistake towards someone else or an error in your job or, gosh, who knows what. Apologize, own it, and move on.
Yeah.
And then vow to never make that mistake again.
Right, exactly.
And being able to have the self-awareness to intentionally do that is huge.
That's
Yes,
true.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop, drop, and roll. Don't hang out. Like a
Yeah.
fire drill. Oh no, I made a wrong turn. Oh no, I made a mistake. But when you have made a mistake, I would say evaluate it. Say you're sorry, whoever you need to sorry. Don't over apologize though, because we all make mistakes,
Mhm.
and move on.
Right.
Yeah.
But don't be that person who's continually making mistakes, continually apologizing, because then you just have words. If you're not willing to put the action behind the apology, then it's a waste of effort.
Yeah, your actions will show more. And it's not always just about that you hurt someone or did someone wrong that you have to apologize for. It could be just a mistake you think you made in your own life. It could be
A decision mistake?
job. Yeah, a decision like a job or a marriage.
Yeah, consider two of us are on our do-over. Carrie got it right the first time.
The
Thank you,
do-overs aren't
David.
bad.
Yeah.
No,
Do-overs
thank
aren't
you,
bad.
Lord, for do-overs.
Yeah, and that's why you need to be more forgiving,
Yes.
I think, when you make a mistake. And we have our millennials right now that, is so sad. So many times on Facebook now you're seeing where, someone has overdosed or taken their own life, and they're making choices that end it all when there are more chances if you'll stick with it. And we need to be more supportive and more forgiving for this time period with so many
Absolutely.
young adults that think there's not more chances.
Yes.
Well, and there's so much addiction in our society these days as well, whether it's alcohol or drugs, opioids, whatever. And I think sometimes when we've had family members in those situations, and I think sometimes people get so deep into it, they think there's no way out. They've dug such a hole, they've burned so many bridges, there's no way out. And I'm just here to say, there's always a way out. There's always a return road from the road that you took.
Yes, just reach out.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
remember that. Yeah, you couldn't have gotten there if you hadn't made a wrong turn. So just turn around and go back to where you think it all went wrong. There is a way out.
Right.
A dead end is a dead end on one end. You can still go back the way you came,
Absolutely.
right? Yeah.
And God gives us free will and we can all make our own choices, but at the same time, we might have made some wrong choices, but it doesn't mean He can't bless that path.
Right, exactly.
Absolutely.
And speaking of God, I think a lot of times we force our own will, like you're talking about free will, but we think we have to help God. And then we're like trusting God, and I'm gonna help you, and I'm gonna help you, and we push something that it wasn't really time for. And I think that's sometimes a lot of our mistakes.
Yeah, so that would have saved me a whole lot in counseling, because, yeah, when I went through my divorce, way back in, 2002, I spent a year in counseling, for her to tell me that very thing, and I could have gotten it free.
Yeah, I could have told you, why do you call me?
Angela, you were awesome, by the way, but
Yeah.
Just don't
There
try to
you go.
help God, just be patient, show up, and it'll fall into place when it's supposed to. I'm saying that to myself too, I'm not trying to act like I got things figured out, Lord knows I don't.
Well, it's important to remember too, we're all human,
Mm-hmm.
and we're all going to make mistakes.
Yes.
And one of these days, my word will be forgiveness, because that's the next step. You have to be able to forgive and move on.
Yourself too.
Yourself too. Oh my gosh, yes. Because if you can't forgive yourself, you might as well be stuck in quicksand.
Yeah.
Because if you can't forgive yourself, you're gonna hold yourself back from all that, not to get too religious on you, but in my opinion, you'll hold yourself back from all that God has for you.
Yeah.
That's just how I believe personally.
And another thing you don't want to say is when you make a mistake and you know you got it wrong, don't start blaming other people. Just own it for that moment, because you will never fix what you did wrong if you try to put the blame on someone else. Just go, gosh, how could I have done this better?
Agreed.
Yeah. See all the stuff we learn as we get older? I wouldn't have known to say that 20 years ago now. Anyway.
good stuff.
All right, we got a health tip?
Yes, I'm gonna get back to my health tips each segment. And so, as y'all know that cold and flu season is upon us. It hit us very, very fast this year. And it's very frustrating when you're in a restaurant or anywhere and you go into the restroom and there's no hand soap at all. I carry these in my purse. It is a solution. I travel with them. I always have hand soap, because we know that viruses and bacteria can live on those door handles for 4 to 24 hours. We're talking about E. coli, salmonella, which can make you extremely sick. So go on Amazon. You can get their hand soap sheets. And so they're just little sheets.
That is
Of
just
soap.
the most amazing thing.
And so, yes,
I
I've
love
even
that.
come out of the bathroom, gone to my purse because there was no soap, gone back in, and you just add water to it and wash your hands like normal, so you always have soap.
I thought you were pulling out a full bar of soap there. This is
I
really
know, it looks
cool.
like it.
Yeah.
You know, I love that too. If you're camping or something, that's a fantastic little
Sure.
little doodad to have. Just carry it in your pocket.
Yeah,
It's wonderful.
I just wonder what the bathrooms, where they tell everybody that they're supposed to wash their hands before they go back to cook if you're an employee or something,
Yeah.
and they're out of soap.
They're
We
right.
hate when they're out of soap, but what are those people doing that are out of soap?
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah, they don't have one of these in their pocket.
Yeah, disgusting.
All right. Okay, speaking of healthy, so in front of us,
Yes.
all right, so I'm
Oh,
recently
yes.
vegan. We've talked about that, I think, before on the show. And every time I'm going to these restaurants that are locally owned with vegan people, there's always a reason they've started this journey for themselves. And Juicy's in Murfreesboro, the first 100% plant-based diet restaurant. Mary Beth battled cancer twice, and her prognosis was not good. I believe she told me this morning she only had been given a year to live. She changed her diet to plant-based. She was from McMinnville. Her restaurant blew up. She started delivering these fruit shakes to cancer patients. Her restaurant was fabulous. It's so good. You have to go eat their burgers, salads, wraps, desserts. So here's one of her desserts: peanut butter, chocolate. And so y'all love them, right?
Does this have oatmeal in
it's
it too?
delicious. I had my square. They are fabulous.
It's got a
Yeah,
tangible
gosh,
Rice
that's good.
Krispie treat
It's
to
good.
taste to it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some.
So are you having
There you
tofu
go.
turkey for Thanksgiving?
No, I probably won't do that.
Okay.
I probably just want to do any meat. And my husband, who's not on board with me yet, can eat the turkey, but
They've got the tofucky.
whatever that is. He will not eat that.
No, you didn't.
What's it called, y'all? It's called tofu.
Tofurkey?
No.
Hey,
Don't even try it again, Rebecca.
You'll see.
Promise. Don't even try it.
Y'all, you can't make this stuff up. Sheila, do we have a quote?
We do. I'm
Juicy's
surprised
in
I can
Murfreesboro, you
remember it.
guys. Healthy eating.
Yes, go to
Okay.
Juicy's.
All right.
So the quote today is from Eleanor Roosevelt, and it goes like this. Let me try and remember after that little faux pas. Freudian slip, whatever. Let's see. Do what is right in your heart, for you will be criticized anyway. So make your best decision, and don't worry about what the others think.
I love it. They're gonna hate on you anyway, so
Yeah.
just do it.
Yeah, just go with it.
You know what? Let me leave you with this too. Don't be afraid to make bold decisions. Don't live scared of mistakes. Don't live scared of getting it wrong. Make bold decisions. They can be life changers.
That's right.
Grab your ball sack and go with it.
And so
And better late than ugly.
SOAR.
And soar.
Soar.
Y'all have a